been an interesting process for me, having only ever been exposed to an environment of such rich quality.
Yeah.
And so it's been more of a process of not coming from an environment of where we're struggling for quality and a lot of resistance. It's more being beginning in that really rich environment. Obviously, my mum being a huge advocate for early childhood education, and then having the freedom as an educator to just implement and have unbridled support to implement any idea I kind of want to.
Yeah.
And have these deep, rich conversations all the time has been great. And so it's been a process of kind of becoming aware of the wider world of early childhood education and realizing that, it's a long way behind in the majority of the other environments that we have around the country, and in terms of the awareness that people and the government has as to what really rich quality means.
Yes. So for you, what does rich quality mean? What does it look like?
For me, it's where the child is truly valued, and it's where you're really looking, really observing the children and observing what they need, and not getting stuck in the ideology that we need to implant our knowledge upon them. But rather watch them, look at their interests, and see how we can help them grow, and how we can sit with them and be with them and help them to understand themselves as a person, understand their emotions,
Sounds like a very nice, relaxing space for children and for educators, where you've got the time and the opportunity to just be.
Yes.
Yep.
That's right. It's that's so important. Is that relaxed environment?
Yes.
It's just to be able to, for the children to be able, for them to be able to properly learn and properly absorb their experience and properly learn through their experience. They must be relaxed and they must be calm. And that means the educators must be calm and relaxed as well.
Yes.
And there has to be this sense of freedom in the environment, and a flow between the spaces and in the environment, and for educators to just be more trying to provide opportunities for the children to enhance their learning, or to enhance their understanding of themselves and their emotions, rather than just trying to manage. Trying to manage the environment and keep it under control.
So being in the environment, nurturing those relationships between yourself and the children, as well as between the children and nature. Just getting down and being with the children and experiencing with the children and showing delight that you are so happy to be there with them. I think is one of the most important things. Anytime a child walks through the gate, just show them that you are absolutely delighted and overjoyed for them to be here, to have them here, because then they, if their own self-worth, to really feel valued and welcomed. And
I know if I walk into a social environment and maybe not know that many people, or it's sometimes can be a bit intimidating, takes you a while to settle in. If someone comes up to you and greets you with joy and gives you a cuddle, it's like,
I feel safe.
Feel safe. Feel secure.
And we know how closely linked children feeling safe and secure is to their mental health and well-being, but also their ability to learn and engage actively in their environment. So that's critical.
Exactly.
And that's something that educators learn and discover throughout, their studies to work in education and care.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, early childhood education is, in terms of the scale of humanity and process of education, perhaps the reason why it is undervalued and under-recognised. It's a pretty new phenomenon. right?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that long ago that it didn't really exist. You know, children of this age would be learning through, they'd just be at home with their parents and stuff like that, and in that secure home environment, and have the opportunity to go and play out in nature and all of these things. And so it's only relatively recent that this has become a thing.
Yeah.
For a parent to come and drop their child off, sometimes as young as 6 weeks old,
I know,
which
yes.
is absurd from
Yeah.
my point of view. But so it's an extremely unfamiliar environment to us as human beings, and so we've got to try to do our best to embrace the children on their entry, and the whole time they're there to make them feel like it's like they've got an extension of their family at Kindy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a friend recently who's doing their diploma.
Yeah.
And I was talking to them about helping them a little bit with their assignments and stuff, and she was I was also talking about the ways to come and sit and be with the children as a way to engage them in conversation and stuff, and she was like, we just don't learn that as a part of our course. We just don't learn how to talk to children, how to be with children, which is of absolute importance in terms of a child feeling secure in an environment, and therefore being able to have the confidence to go out and interact socially and go on adventure through the environment, and not be sitting there with high cortisol levels and highly stressed out and stuff.
So
like that.
would you say that is a barrier to achieving that realisation for other educators?
I think so.
Explicitly understanding and learning how to just be in environments and to support.
How to emotionally co-regulate with children and support them through that process, which in my mind are two absolutely essential things.
Yes. Yeah.
A recommendation would be to, when writing these policies around the conditions of these environments, would be to always refer back to just the rights that children have. Children have the right to play freely, and children should have the right to enthusiastic educators that put them as their primary, in the forefront of their desires to want to create the best possible environment for these little children. They have a right to that.
Yes.
They have a right to an educator that is absolutely delighted in them and knows how to be with them and talk to them. And so if these things are not being met, then we need to change what we're doing. The policies need to change in order to meet these things. Children deserve it.
Children do deserve it.
Yeah.
Yep. Is there anything else maybe you'd like to say, or we'll finish it there? There's probably lots. There's always so much to cover.
We could probably go on for hours and hours.
And we'll bore everybody.
I think this is the most important things, and just for educators to be advocates.
Yep.
To keep advocating and be ruthless in their advocacy for this sector, because it is so important to our society as a whole. And to trying to amend some of the issues we have in society in terms of people that don't know how to regulate their emotions, people that are emotionally disconnected from themselves and from Mother Nature. And this is the roots of that tree.
Absolutely. Our children are the roots of the tree.
We need to fertilise this in the best possible way we can.
Yeah. And in the current technology space, it's even a bigger challenge.
Yeah.
Because we're competing with technology as babysitters.
Yeah, exactly.
To actually get children into environments and into those relationships with others.
That's right. Yeah, very much so.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.